Hello everyone and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. No Smoking Day is on the 9th of March and very shortly we'll be joined by Emily Reeve of the British Heart Foundation to talk about why they put this day together. Not only that, we're also going to be speaking to Frederick Hoffman about his experience with smoking and what persuaded him to give up the habit, and also treating him to a bit of male grooming done by Teresa Megan Gregoire, and she's already actually started that in our makeup room. And we also have on our resident Doctor Rob Hicks talking about the effects of smoking on the body and mind. And later on, I'll be giving my own tips on 3 ways to increase your willpower. But first, let's talk to Emily Reeve from the British Heart Foundation to talk about the negative effects of smoking. Hello, Emily. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hello.
So tell us first of all what the British Heart Foundation does.
The British Heart Foundation is the biggest heart charity in the UK. We fund life-saving research into all kinds of heart conditions, and we do a lot as well. We have a genetics service that we run as well, so we do cover a lot within the heart charity.
Okay, and where does the non-smoking day fit in?
Well, the No Smoking Day is on the 9th of March, and it's a big campaign that's been running for since 1983 actually, on Ash Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah, but we've taken over it since 2011, and it's a huge campaign. We want to support quitters. We want to help people make that decision to quit, and see what we can do to help them as well.
Okay, and how do you actually go about helping them? What kind of support do you offer?
Well, we have a website, www.nosmokingday.org.uk, and that's got all sorts of information on there. It's got the health information, you know, in terms of why smoking is bad for you, but it's got so much more than that as well. We've got lots of information about different nicotine replacement therapies, and also our case studies. So they're people that have successfully quit, and they've made that decision for lots of different reasons, and they've all gone through it with different routes, but they've all been successful, and we think it's quite inspiring for people to read as well. So.
And do you know on average how many people actually get involved and they try to quit, and success rate?
Well, it's normally about, we sort of aim for 800,000 people.
That's a lot of people, that's really good.
It's a big campaign, but it is so important because obviously we know smoking is bad for you, but it's about not making it something that people are scared to talk about. It's really opening up that discussion and making it not a judgmental process, but a really supportive one for them.
What would you say for most people is the most difficult thing about stopping in the first place?
I think really it's that people get into habits. So people tend to do it because they suffer with cravings. So it might be that stress is a big one. Yeah. But like one of the things we were looking at for our campaign this year was what can people do instead of that? You know, what can they bring into their routine that becomes part of that as opposed to smoking? So that's a big area of it. I think a lot of it is actually to do with the fact that people think I've been unsuccessful before, there's no point, and I think that's such a shame, and that's another thing we really want to kind of get out there about No Smoking Day. You may not have been successful before, but why not have another go? Because there's so many reasons to do it, and there is so much out there that people aren't even aware of. I think they have some idea, but whether they want to do it one-on-one or they prefer group sessions, there is something out there for everybody. So
now in terms of the British Heart Foundation website, is there an area where people can actually connect, like maybe if there's a group of people that want to connect and talk about how it's going and stuff? Do you offer that as well?
There is actually also a forum, so people can open up discussions on there, how they're going through their quit attempt, or how they've got on. So it's really good because people can just talk to each other. So I think that's something that's really useful as well. Makes it kind of a friendly place to come to, and so people don't feel like they're on their own, which is another thing that we don't want for smokers, because that's difficult as well.
What do you find the best thing about No Smoking Day for you personally?
I think it's knowing that we know that 2/3 of smokers want to quit, and so to kind of get a reaction of 800,000 people potentially is, that's really impressive, and it can make a huge difference to those people, because they may have the drive to do it, but they just don't know how to. So that's kind of what I think is so great about the campaign.
So there's so many people, that they're definitely going to do it this year, I believe that.
Yeah.
So thanks very much, Emily, for all that information there.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, so next up we have the news with Jenny Cortez Ibanez.
Hi Chris, it's Jenny here doing the news segment for you, and today's topic is all about No Smoking Day. So my first item is about the Isle of Man drivers being banned from smoking if they are carrying children as passengers. Now this move will become law on the 30th of March following some similar bans in England and Wales, and aims to protect youngsters from second-hand smoking. So the Manx government said that those breaking the law would typically be fined from £50 and could rise up to £5,000. The regulations are brought under the Public Health Tobacco Act 2006. So here are some facts about secondhand smoking. It contains more than 4,000 chemicals, some of which are known to cause cancer. It can stay in the air for up to 2.5 hours, even with a window open. Exposure has been strongly linked to chest infections, asthma, ear problems and cot death in children, says public health experts. And bans on smoking in cars with children present exist in some US states, including California, as well as parts of Canada and Australia. So a recent Isle of Man survey revealed that 23.5% of young people aged 11 to 18 years old are exposed to smoke in their own or someone else's car. Now, Health Minister Howard Quayle said the new legislation will help protect vulnerable children from the harmful effects of second-hand smoking. Moving on to some more good news, smoking rates among teenage girls have dropped since smoking bans were imposed across Britain, researchers have found. So this is a recent article. The number of 15-year-olds girls who smoke has dropped by 20% since smoking in pubs, restaurants and other public areas was outlawed nearly a decade ago in 2006 and 2007 and had denormalized smoking. So some previous studies have found that it reduced death rates linked to smoking by a fifth, slashed heart diseases across diseases cases linked to passive smoking by 40%, and saved nearly 90,000 children from serious illness. Some awesome news there. They also found a drop in smoking among teenage boys, but the statistics weren't so significant like the teenage girls. So Dr. Penny Wood, Chief Executive of the British Lung Foundation, said the smoking ban was initially introduced to protect people from passive smoking. However, this research suggests it also helped denormalize smoking, making it seem less a part of everyday life and thereby reducing its appeal to new young smokers. So some really good stuff there, although there's plenty more to do with that, but we are going the right direction. Moving on to some news in Russia. So an altered image of US President Barack Obama with a cigarette in his mouth has been spotted in Russia as part of an anti-smoking campaign. And the campaign reads, "Smoking kills more people than Obama," and this advert was spotted in Moscow. It's not the first time the US president has been targeted in negative ads amid some rising US-Russia tensions, although it's not clear who is behind these adverts. But the latest ad reads, "Smoking kills more people than Obama, although Obama kills a lot of people. Don't smoke, don't be like Obama." Now, Barack Obama previously is known for having to struggled to quit smoking in 2010, but admitted to falling off the wagon several times and after entering the White House. Now, his wife, Michelle, said he kicked the habit to be a good example to his two daughters. Good for him. Moving on from President Obama to some more celebrities who have quit or are still trying to quit, starting off with Kate Moss. Hoping to boost her odds of conceiving a child, she quit, turning to a hypnotist in London, and she went from smoking 30 cigarettes to 15 cigarettes a day. And Moss reportedly fixed her wedding date as her deadline for quitting. She also joins other stars like Catherine Zeta-Jones, who also stopped smoking out of concern for her children, although she has been seen to light up every now and again. Moving on to another actress, Julianne Moore. So she decided to quit around 1991 because she was unhappy with herself for turning to cigarettes to help and give her comfort for when she went through some problems. But when she did decide to quit, she said that it made her a better actress and a better person in general. Also, Whoopi Goldberg, in the fall of 2007, the actress declared in one of the shows that she co-hosts in that she was going to quit as a part of a Christmas gift to herself. Goldberg gave herself a month and a half to start and prepare herself mentally. And here's a quick fact. Her wake-up call to doing this was, she quotes, I quote, "I saw this commercial where these little kids were lying in bed and one of these kids breathes and the smoke comes out. Something about seeing these little kids exhale that smoke made me think, okay, Whoop, maybe it's time to stop." I agree there. Moving on to Charlize Theron. So in 2006, with the help of a hypnotist also, the model turned actress has also embraced a new healthier lifestyle, moving to exercise, going to exercise with some Pilates and yoga to help her. And at one point, Theron smoked up to 3 packs a day to cope with the stress, and that's according to Mirror's newspaper. And as I mentioned, she's moved on to exercise to tackle her anxiety. Also, Vince Vaughn. So why did he start smoking in the first place at the age of 24? It's because he didn't want to look fake when he smoked for his movies. So that was very much dedication there, but unfortunately that dedication led to his addiction. And he goes on to say, "I was up 2 packs a day, I'm coughing, my eyes are red, I don't have energy, I'm not even enjoying it, so I just said, that's it." And he told the New Zealand Herald in 2005. We just have time for one more, and we're going to end with Brad Pitt. So Pitt put away his cigarettes back in 2004 to get in shape for his role Troy. Great movie, by the way. But he resumed smoking after filming, sadly. And in 2005, People magazine reported that Angelina Jolie, his wife, was encouraging him to stop, and the actor confirmed that he did for his kids. However, he also reportedly said that he sneaks a smoke every now and again behind his wife's back. And in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, the actor admitted, "Actually, I'm less worried about the paparazzi catching me than someone who doesn't know I still smoke once in a while." Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for news today. Back to you, Chris, in the studio.
Thanks very much to Jenny there. So after the break, we'll be showing you the makeover reveal with Fred, and later on I'll also be sharing my top tips on 3 ways to increase your willpower. So don't go away. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back to our show on how to quit smoking, with lots of tips and motivation for you who are trying to quit the habit, and this is in support of No Smoking Day. So earlier we saw Frederick Hoffman, and he's here with us now for us to show you his makeover reveal, because he had had a bit of grooming by Teresa Megan Gregoire here. Hello guys, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
So Fred, what do you think of your new look?
I love it. Thank you very much. Genuinely, okay. It's great.
Now you are here today mainly to talk about your quitting smoking,
yeah, that's right.
Which we're going to do after the break actually. But first of all, let's talk about the grooming that Megan's done for you here.
Yeah, so Fred, he is really into his hair. And
really?
So we have a few styling products that we thought that we would use on him today to achieve this look. So what you want to do with hair of his length is blow dry, you know, the sections that you want to go in a certain direction, in that direction. So, you know, wet your hair, get your blow dryer out, and even just, you don't need any combs really. You can use your fingers and just comb through part and then get the top to go back. Once you've got that, you know, direction of hair, you're going to be left with this section here, which you can be a bit messy with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got some dry putty, we've got, you know, some greeny Bumble and Bumble surf spray. So this really just works really good. And, you know, we just played around, messed around, and get that really surfer look going, surfer rocker look going for him, and it just worked out. So you can also, if you've got some problem with volume, spray a little bit of volume lift when you're blow drying, and it just gets that hair a little bit more oomph.
Okay.
For male grooming, and this can be your everyday regime. So I asked him what his was. I think he puts a little soap on his face.
Yeah.
It wasn't too
He told me earlier that's all
extensive,
he has in his bathroom
Yeah,
cabinet.
it's quite
just the
basic, to be honest.
which I think is quite common for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be. And I think you can really, you know, in terms of self-confidence and everything like that, you can really, you know, get a little bit of a boost each day with some simple products such as mattifying pore refiner. You know, a lot of people have oily skin and they don't think that, you know, that there's anything for them. They just wash, and actually you're making your pores larger. Okay. So don't do that. All right. So you actually need to be quite delicate with the skin on your face. And if you've got blackheads or if you've got some things that are clogging your pores, you need to extract. So then you can use hot steam from warm water, just fill your sink up and just let your pores breathe, and then splash cold water, and it closes the pores. So doing that, you know, and your soap in between, but I hope it's actual, not bar soap, but, you know, gentle stuff for your face.
Yeah.
But in between that steam, or even when you're out of the shower, you don't even have to sit there and get that extra bit. When you're out of the shower, your pores will be open, splash cold water on your face, and it will close the pores. But that's after you cleanse, you know, or, you know, if you can actually extract the dirt from those and do that. If not, also you can use any primer. Oily primer will just fill in those pores, close those pores, and actually works as a refinement treatment. So actually this one from MAC Prep and Prime, it's Skin Refine Zone Treatment. So it's actually called a treatment because you can actually use it to make your pores smaller. And you know, not only males, but any type of skin. As you go older, your actual pores just naturally open, unfortunately. But we've got some products that can help, you know, take back those years and make it, and just make, you know, just make things easier for us.
Okay.
So, you know, and also a good one is the Porefessional. This is from Benefit, and it's just really good. You know, this is similar to a tinted moisturizer. MAC Face and Body. So a lot of products now, they just have a little bit of tint to them. You know, males, they can go a little bit darker. It's very flattering. And don't be afraid of a little bronzer, because, you know,
It looks good.
yeah. You know, bronzer is very flattering, and I think that is the essentials for male grooming. And you know, if you've also got an urge, you can comb and groom your eyebrows. That's a big one, actually, especially if you've got some brows that are a bit unruly at times, all right? And not that yours are. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I'm saying that, you know, even if you have a brush, right?
Yeah.
Because you're brushing your hair, give your eyebrows a little brush. It makes a difference because, you know, it shapes the face. So just brushing those hairs up. I was gonna say, this looks like a toothbrush. Don't use your toothbrush.
No.
That's a bit gross, but
Toothpaste in it.
yeah, and moisture. So make sure, you know, that you have some moisture on your lips. There's, you know, nothing more unflattering than big, crusty, dry lips. Come on, you know, we can do better than that. Get a little bit, you know, again, in the shower, if you've got those dry flakes, rub them off with the towel after. It's like an exfoliating process.
Okay, great advice. So thank you so much, Megan, and we'll see you again next time. Fred, you're going to stay with us until after the break to talk about your no smoking life now.
Yeah, my achievements.
Yes, definitely.
Which also helps the skin.
It's very true. We are going to be talking about that. So I don't know which of my cameras, but I'm going to look in this one anyway. So now we're going to go with some styling tips from Dennis here. Now this is from a program not so long ago, and he's going to be talking about how clothes make you feel. What do clothes say about a person?
Clothes tell quite a lot about a person because they tell us your story. They tell us where you've come from. They can tell us where you're coming from. They can tell us where you're going or where you want to go.
Wow.
They can tell us your social status, maybe your job, your place of work, maybe your authority even.
Okay.
A policeman wears a uniform and that tells us something about him.
Okay.
You know, so they tell us, they do paint quite a lot of, they tell a lot of stories. In a few seconds we can tell a whole lot from what you're wearing. You know.
Now, if a person, because as I was saying earlier, you know, there was certain, when I did the first show here, I felt very uncomfortable in what I was wearing. Can that sort of affect performance, say, or how you feel in general if you're sort of wearing maybe a style that's not for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely affects your performance.
Yeah.
So what you wear does affect how you perform. And there is a reason why they want you in a suit when you're in the corporate world, for example, because you feel professional. So therefore you act professional. Right. And that will affect your performance, as opposed to if you're in jeans and t-shirt, it may affect you in another way. Yeah. Okay.
Now I've seen a few things on the rail there. Can you talk us through what you brought in today?
Absolutely. I just bought a few outfits, and I'll elaborate on them. They're mainly based around the workplace. Okay. Because that's where we spend most of our time, and that's where most of our wardrobe is centered around. Okay. Where we go to work, where we spend most of our day. Clothing is a lot about how you feel. So if you are going to go in your autumn wardrobe and buy black, which is what a lot of people do, they buy blacks or navy blues or greys. And browns. That's fine, that's not a problem. What you want to do is you want to, again, cultivate your self-confidence and how you feel about yourself. So I would say break it up a little bit and be bold. Don't hide like anybody else. Don't be uniform on the tube. Wear something that's going to stand out. So for example, I'm a big fan of leather. Okay, I always like to get my clients into leather because it's great in summer and winter. It's versatile and it always looks luxurious and great. Yeah. So you can wear like these black leather pants that I wear here for ladies. Most people would go for a grey. Okay, something grey on top, which is fine. Grey is versatile, it's a nice color. But again, you're just blending in. Don't blend in. Stand out, celebrate yourself, you know, be different, you're worth it. So look at this shot grey, this green, it's a bright green. Now, most people think that you can't wear bright colors in winter. No, you can wear bright colors in winter, it's just the tone. If this was in spring, maybe it would be a pastel green. Right, it's still a bright green, but just a different tone of bright green.
And that looks lovely together.
And it looks really nice together. And it'll work, you wear your jacket over this, you're good to go. Some black heels, off you go. You know? And again, on a similar tone, if you want to look a little bit more stylish.
I love that. That caught my eye straight away because I love yellow. Absolutely.
Now, most people, if you ask, oh, when do you wear yellow? So I wear yellow in the summer. You don't have to be in the summer, you don't have to. You can wear yellow in the winter. Again, it's that word, tone. In the summer, it will be more of a lemon-toned yellow because that's more bright, it's fresh. This is a mustard tone. It's not as bright and as fresh, but it's still bright and it still says, hey, I'm confident, I believe in myself, I love myself, and I'm going places, and you need to treat me that way. That's what clothing does. Yeah, absolutely. It's telling your story and you're educating other people about how you want to be treated. I'm a fun person. If you look at me, I'm wearing yellow, you better smile at me. Because I'm a happy person. You know, I'm not hiding, I'm not scared, I'm confident. Okay. And that's what clothing says. This
kind of outfit as well, where would you sort of wear this kind of thing?
Again, if you can easily wear this to the office with some tights and some heels and you accessorize it nicely, a nice clutch bag or something like that, you can wear this to the office. Again, you just got to work out the protocol of your office. You don't outdress your boss, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. But you can wear it when you're out with friends or you're going out to dinner, if your boyfriend's taking you out somewhere nice. This can easily wear. Again, because it's such a nice simple cut. You don't have to worry too much.
It looks comfortable as well. That's what I'm looking.
Exactly. So you don't have to worry about your body shape and your.
What kind of shoes would you put with this then?
I would block with this. So you can go with green, you can go with nude, you can go with orange.
Yeah.
I would color block. I wouldn't wear yellow and match.
No,
definitely. Nobody matches anymore.
No.
Don't match. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a few items for all you ladies out there. I've got a suit here for men, just in case you got a job interview this autumn, or you're looking for a career move, or you just want to look smart in the office. Now, I've gone for a classic blue, okay? Because if you go into a job interview somewhere with wearing beige, people might not take you seriously. But what I like about this suit is the texture. And that's what tells people that I'm confident. The texture and this check print that it has, these squares on it, that tells people that I'm a little bit different, that I'm not afraid to take risk. That's a sign of confidence. That's a sign of confidence, the fact that you're willing to take a risk and you're comfortable being a little bit vulnerable and taking a bit of flack. Oh, that's a nice suit. You're earning big money, mate. Yeah. No. I just thought I'd wear a nice suit. I'm worth it, okay? So you wear that, you wear a simple white shirt. Nothing works better than a white shirt with the suits. And again, this lovely tie. It's got a nice two-tone blue to it. But again, it's the texture of the suit. It's a wool blend.
It's amazing how like these little details can say a lot about a person.
Yes, absolutely.
Really
particularly with menswear.
Yeah.
Because women's wear, there's a lot going on in terms of the shape, and the differences can be very obvious to the eye. But with menswear, the details are, you have to look carefully. For example, if you look at these lapels, they're right up by the shoulder.
Right.
That was designed. That's there on purpose to make it look more elegant.
Okay.
So that's a nice detail that this suit has. So it is all about the details. And again, details communicate to people that I thought about what I wear.
They just throw anything on.
Exactly. I think about what I wear. I care for myself. I love myself.
So don't forget, if you would like a makeover, so as you saw today, we do makeovers for males and females. If you feel you deserve one, or you'd like to nominate someone that you think really could do with a makeover because they don't spend enough time on themselves perhaps, do get in touch with us via the website, chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet us at Chrissy B Show, or leave a comment on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. So up next, I'll be revisiting Fred to find out more about him, and we'll also be joined by Doctor Rob Hicks to tell us about the effects of smoking, and he'll be giving his own advice on how to quit. And later on, I'll also be talking about 3 ways to increase your willpower. So don't go away. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show, and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back everyone to our show all about how to quit smoking, with lots of advice, and we are doing this in support of course, No Smoking Day. So before the break we saw Frederick with his makeover reveal, and he's still with us here. You're right?
I'm very well.
Still enjoying the makeover?
I'm still enjoying the makeover.
And we have joining us also, we have Dr. Rob Hicks. Hello Rob, how are you?
Hi Chris, he looks great, doesn't he?
He does, yes.
He's living the dream, he was telling me.
I look as good as I feel.
Oh. Alrighty, so Fred, you have got a bit of a story for us, because obviously you've we found out that you did quit smoking.
Yeah, I quit smoking.
When did you start smoking, first of all?
When I was really young, well, comparatively pretty young, when I was 13.
13?
Yeah, when I was 13. I think it was the move to high school was what did it, really.
Okay.
And there's quite a lot of romanticism attached to it. That's what really drew me to it, was that it was like fitting in, and also I genuinely thought it was cool. Genuinely. But
did you actually enjoy it?
No.
Like, so you couldn't stand the smell, or?
Like initially, like it's like a pain barrier you have to go through, which is so not worth it.
Yeah.
So not worth it. But yeah, after a little while, like really not enjoying the taste, that kind of wears off a little bit.
Okay.
And then and then you're hooked.
Okay. Did you try to stop, like, along the way?
Like, initially, I didn't really notice myself getting addicted. So I'd just maybe smoke at a party, and then maybe I'd smoke at outside a pub, because I couldn't get into a pub because I was only like 13. But we'd hang around outside, and then we'd smoke, and then it became less and less social, and then progressively, I'd be smoking in the daytime, and then I'd be smoking at lunch, and then I'd want a cigarette when I woke up.
Oh, so how many were you on a day then?
Not like a huge amount, because it's quite hard to get hold of when you're 13. But maybe 5 or 6 rollies a day.
Yeah. Which is still enough to do damage, Rob, isn't it? In
yes, I mean, the reality is that one cigarette's enough to do damage, and that's why Fred's done very well. He's an ex-smoker, and he's going to tell us how long as well, which is
so I quit when I was 16, and I'm now 22, so that's
well done.
6 years. 6 years without smoking.
What motivates you to stop though in the first place?
Well, very quickly the romanticism wore off, and it was no longer like like leather jacket, motorbike kind of thing. That whole fantasy never happened. It was never like that kind of like 1950s advert. I was never Sean Connery. And then after I realised that I never would be Sean Connery, like with a martini and a cigarette, I realised I was just like spending a lot of money on something that I didn't enjoy and made me quite ill.
Okay.
And then that realisation was like, why continue? And then
makes sense.
And then it was like, this makes a lot of sense. So I decided to quit.
Did you just quit like that, willpower, or was it a process?
I had some really good friends, and one day I was like, all right, no matter what, do not let me buy tobacco. Do not lend me any of yours. If I ask for it, say no. Don't let anyone else who I don't know just don't let me. Just like don't. And they were very, very good.
Did you ask them though?
I asked them to be as aggressive as necessary, and it was to the point of like they'd sit on me so that I couldn't so that I wouldn't be able to nick it off anyone.
So you did have the cravings. You did.
Yes,
you did
of course.
That,
it was just cold turkey as well. So I was a nightmare to be around while I was quitting, because I was just so angry and tense all the time.
Yeah. But how long did it take you to completely wean yourself off without any more cravings?
The first week was really tough, and then for like quite a good time afterwards, a good two and a half, 3 months afterwards, smelling it would really set me off. Okay. Make me really want a cigarette. By about 7, 8 months, I could smell it and be like,
don't want it.
Don't want it. That's fine.
Brilliant.
And now
so it's about perseverance then with this.
It is, yeah. It's you just take each day as it comes.
Yeah.
And each day.
Did you motivate any of your other friends to stop when they saw you stop?
Yeah, actually, which was really good as well.
Done.
Yeah, which was really good. A good 4 other friends were like, I think a little bit of it was pity. Like, we don't want to let you suffer alone. And then they, as they started smoking less, and they started like getting their lung capacity back. They were like, hang on, this is quite good, actually, this whole not smoking lot.
Yeah, tell us about that. What effects did you see in your life?
Well, when I was like really, really young, I really enjoyed cycling. It was a really big part of my life. Partly because I lived in the middle of nowhere, but also because I did just genuinely really enjoy cycling. Yeah. And that's the more I smoked, the harder and harder cycling became. I struggled with like hills that like previously were very, very easy to me. Really fell behind in all kind of sports I was taking part in. And very, very quickly after quitting smoking, I saw a big improvement in that. Yeah.
Why would you go back after that?
Yeah, exactly. It's really limiting. I think that's what it was. It's really limiting.
You've done fantastically well then, Fred. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's motivation for all you guys out there that are trying to stop, right?
Yeah, it can be done. Absolutely.
No, you'll even prove that. Rob, what do you think of this? Really great story.
I think it's a great story.
Yeah.
I think what's really good is that Fred's young, and a lot of people who are smokers, they say, "Oh well, I'll give up later." You know, all the trouble, all the health problems that come with smoking. They say, "Oh, that's not going to affect me." at a young age.
Yeah.
They say, well, that only affects older people.
Yeah.
And so it's really good to have you as a case study, really, of somebody who started smoking very early on, but managed to quit successfully, to show people that it can be done. Now, cold turkey, just giving up with willpower, is probably the hardest way, and actually the least successful way of giving up. But what what you did was that you took on board this getting support.
Yeah.
One of the mistakes people make is they don't tell their friends and their family and their work colleagues that they're actually trying to quit. So they become irritable and aggressive maybe, and not much fun to be around, and nobody knows why. And then of course they say, well, you're going to come out for a drink, you come out for a meal, and they offer you a cigarette and you say, no, I'm trying to quit. And then they go, now we understand why you've been behaving. Why didn't you ask us for that support? So one of the key things is getting that support, whether it's from friends and family to sit on you, to tie your hands behind your back, or whether, the NHS offers fantastic smoking cessation clinics and services. You can now get advice from your local pharmacy. Obviously your GP and your practice nurse will give you advice, because nowadays there are so many different ways to get through the process and the journey of becoming an ex-smoker, that there really is something to suit everybody. So it's not just about saying, right, I'm going to go cold turkey and suffer the consequences. We have nicotine replacement therapies. We have some medicines that we can prescribe. There's obviously the counselling support. There's a lot of people now are actually using e-cigarettes as a way of helping them through the process. And of course there are apps appearing left, right and centre where you can monitor your progress, you can link in with people online, to actually get the support that you need.
Now Rob, in terms of people that don't have any intention of quitting, can you tell us why they should? Because I know there's a lot of knowledge out there about why smoking is really bad for you, but I don't think some people realise the extent, how severe it really can be. Can you just go through, not trying to scare anyone, but maybe just a little bit, scare tactics?
Well, I think we can put it into different categories. The big hitters: cancer, heart disease, so heart attacks and strokes, and COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which essentially is emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Smoking will cause these conditions. Then you've got the things that the skin issue you mentioned earlier on. It prematurely ages the skin. So you're going to have skin that looks far older than actually your years. And from a man's point of view, it increases the risk of erectile dysfunction, so you won't get erections. So there was a great campaign that said smoking doesn't make you hard or cool. and it was targeted at younger men, and it did very, very well. Nowadays, with the ban on smoking in public places, it's actually getting harder and harder to find somewhere where you can have a cigarette, which is a good thing.
I think that's a good thing, because it really helps to cut down on that romanticism, because you don't see people out in public smoking and drinking, and especially when you're very young, seeing people who are just a little bit older than you doing that, it's like, I want to be like that, I want to be accepted. And if they're not so visible publicly, then it cuts down on that for children.
And I think we have to look at, Fred's highlighted it, some of the very immediate gains, the more energy, the easier breathing, all those things that people perhaps don't appreciate. Your taste comes back.
That was a huge thing. Taste coming back. That was wonderful. Yeah.
Did you notice that it had gone to some extent, or was it like all of a sudden that, I can taste my burger again?
Yeah, it was. So like when I was losing it, I didn't notice myself losing it because it was gradual. But when I got it back, I really noticed. It was wonderful.
Maybe that's why people put on weight sometimes when they start, because it's just like this food just tastes amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons. Obviously, the nicotine does sort of suppress appetite to a degree. Yeah. But the other thing is, the taste comes back. You think, I really enjoy this, I'm going to have some more. Yeah. So I think one of the key things that people who are considering quitting smoking, it has to be their own decision. As a doctor, I can advise them, and their friends can say, you really ought to quit smoking, but they have to want to do it themselves. Yeah. And then they have to have their own goals. So it might be for health reasons, it might be because there are children arriving in the family, it might be actually they want to save money, because smoking's a really expensive habit.
How was that with saving money? Did it?
It's quite hard getting together pennies, scraping together pennies as a 13-year-old kid with no income. So I played poker quite a lot. I played poker at school.
You did that just
I played poker, and then would bet money, and I got quite good at it. And I used that as my main way of buying cigarettes.
Okay.
Which is like CD,
So now you don't need to do that
seedy
anymore.
underground of a small rural town where I'm from.
And I think the other very, very important message is that the majority of people don't succeed first time. They need to try again.
Yeah.
So they haven't failed. They should look at it as a success that actually I gave up smoking for a week.
Yeah.
I gave up smoking for a month, or I gave up smoking for 6 months. And then look back, what was it that tripped you up? Was it that you went out to a party or something and somebody gave you a cigarette, etc.? And then next time, think about avoiding that thing.
Brilliant advice. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Excellent.
Fred, you've been amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you, Rob, as well. Amazing as always. And we'll see you again soon. All right. Okay, guys, so don't go away, because after the break, I'll be sharing 3 ways to increase your willpower, and we also have a fitness tip with Ben Cooper. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show, and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back to today's program, which has been all about how to quit smoking. There's been lots of tips and motivation for you today. And this show, of course, was in support of National No Smoking Day, which is coming up very soon. So if you've missed the beginning of this show, don't worry, because you can head over to our YouTube channel, which is Chrissy B Show. You can subscribe and watch the rest of this program that you might have missed, and also any other shows that you need to catch up on. So now, before I talk about my 3 tips on how to increase your willpower, let's take a look at this video with Ben Cooper, and here he's giving some tips on breathing techniques.
Hi and welcome to the Move 360 Studios. My name is Ben and we're here for the Chrissy B Show. Today's subject is non-smoking day, so we're going to focus all of our exercises on breathing. Okay, so if you've been smoking, you were a smoker and you're looking to give up, getting your breathing back to normal is essential. So we're going to start with a weight. You can use a book, you can use a cat, you can use a child if you want to. We're going to pop it onto our stomach, and then we're going to breathe diaphragmatically. So we're going to use the abdominal cavity to breathe. So breathing in, lift the weight up and breathe out. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out. So the weight or whatever you've got on your stomach should be going up and down, so it shows that you're breathing through the abdominal wall and not through the chest. Okay, because this will be very common with smokers. Next, we're just going to do an exercise to fire up your hips. So if you're new to exercise, this is a great way of just activating these muscles, which are really important, and you can breathe along with it as well. So you breathe in, breathe out. Breathe out, and you should feel it here, just in the top of the glutes. Okay, and keep that going. You want to do about 15, 20 reps on each side to really get them fired up. Okay, and on to the next one, which again, breathing is going to be our focus. We're going to stretch the flexor chain, that's flexion, this is extension. Because when you smoke, you're going to be more drawn into that sort of posture. So this is going to be great to open up your quads, your hip flexors, and up into the chest. As we go forward, breathe in, breathe out as you go back. In, out. So when you do this at home, do 10 on each side, and you can see actually that my hips are really opening up, my chest is opening up, and my breathing is matching that. The next exercise you can do from there, once you've done both sides, is straight in the same position into a nice split squat. So going up And this will just get your glutes active. It helps your abdominals just to stay in position. Keep the arms open again, nice open chest and lungs. And up and down from there, knee touching each time and drive back up. So soon you start to feel that in the quads, the glutes will start to burn as well, so you're working them, you're working your abs. Do again 10 to 15 on each side, and then repeat that 3 times up to 5 times, as many as you like.
So thanks very much there to Ben Cooper. And by the way, all of his tips can be found on our YouTube channel, Chrissy B Show. There's a playlist there that's called Fitness and Health, and you can catch up with all of his exercise tips there. So now I'm going to speak about 3 ways to increase your willpower. So we are talking about quitting smoking, but of course this can be applied to anything that you do in life or that you want to stop doing. So my first point is changing the way you phrase things. From instead of saying I can't, you say I don't. So let me explain this. This is all to do with self-affirmation. There's a big difference between the words I can't and I don't. So when you say I can't, it has quite a negative connotation because it's as though you're saying that you want to do that thing, but that you're depriving yourself. But when you say I don't, you are in control. So for example, I don't smoke anymore, not I can't smoke anymore, or I don't eat I can't eat unhealthy food anymore, meaning that you still want it, you're still craving it, but now you're saying I don't actually eat unhealthy food anymore. So it's a small change, but it can make a big difference in the way that you think and increase your willpower. My second point is get enough sleep. Now this one seems to come up a lot in many of the topics that we cover on this show, and actually we will be very shortly doing a show on getting enough sleep and the benefits for National Bed Month, which is coming up. So let's tell you now how it's actually linked to your willpower. According to Kelly McGonigal, PhD and author of The Willpower Instinct, sleep deprivation is a kind of chronic stress and makes it harder to resist things like cravings. So getting enough sleep gives your brain and therefore your willpower more energy, as does physical exercise. So there again, we always talk about physical exercise and health and everything on this show, so it does have a massive impact on everything in your life. And the third point is have a plan. So research suggests that having a plan can help combat the lack of willpower. So the plan of I'm quitting smoking may not be enough motivation for you, but if you go further and say I want to have a healthy body, I want to breathe better, I want to have more energy, I want to have better skin, it's much more effective than just saying that you're quitting smoking. So put a bit more emphasis, put a bit more detail into what you're doing, and that should help you increase your motivation. So 3 very, very simple steps there, but that can make a massive difference. So we are reaching the end of today's program. I really hope that you found it useful. For those of you who are trying to quit smoking or anything else, please do get the support. There's lots of support out there for you, lots of organizations that can help you. So make sure to make as much use of them as possible. And if there is a topic that you would like to see discussed here, maybe you are actually a charity that wants to feature on the show. We love to feature charities here and to give you a platform to tell people about what you do. You can visit our website, chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet us at Chrissy B Show or leave a comment on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And we have had a makeover on today's program, so don't forget, if you would like to nominate yourself, if you feel that you deserve some grooming or a nice makeover, do get in touch with us. Or maybe it's a loved one or a friend that you would like to nominate. Maybe you see that they don't take care of themselves enough, they're always thinking of other people, maybe they've been through a hard time in life and you think they deserve some time out just to think about themselves for once. You can also get in contact with us via the website, chrissybshow.tv. So now to end the show, let's take a look at a healthy recipe with Hannah Richards, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to the Move 360 Kitchen. My name's Hannah Richards, and today I'm going to make a beef mango salad. So I'm starting off with cooking some rump steak here. You can use filet, rump, sirloin, any type you like. I always try and get the best quality meat, either going to your butcher or getting a good organic steak. And in the meantime, we'll prepare the salad. So the basis of the salad is a carrot, which you're going to just peel. Okie dokie. That's the basis of the salad. Then you're going to take a mango. These are green mangoes. The harder the better, and I'm again just going to peel some of that mango over the top of the carrot into the salad. There we go, that'll do. I'm going to season him a little bit with some salt, some pepper. I like my steak fairly medium rare, so I'm not going to cook him too long because I want him to be quite pink in the middle. Some spring onions. Now these guys can be potent. Top and tail them, and then try and give them a nice thin chop because they want to be thin in the salad, and put them over the top of the mango. The great herb that goes with this dish is coriander, and I don't think you can have enough coriander. It's great with lime as well. So cut 2 limes up and squeeze the lime. Don't be afraid to really juice them with your hands. You don't really need a juicer at all. There we go. Beautiful. A splash of fish sauce, a splash of soy sauce, and a splash of balsamic. And just scatter your beef on top. Sprinkle it with your coriander. Tidy it all up around the edges. And there you have it. Beef mango salad.
I just want to say thank you very much for everyone today. I've had a lot of support before the show and during and afterwards. Everyone's been fantastic, so thank you very much.
He's set the rules now, you've got it right. No one calls him Dan. It's Daniel.
Right, I had a really good time here on the Mackie B Show, on the Chrissy B Show. Yeah, the makeover was absolutely fantastic. It was really nice getting my hair done. Everyone's really friendly. I got some free food, which is really nice. Learned some things about smoking that I didn't know, and all in all, very, very enjoyable. Thank you for having me.